Well, of course, the legalization of pot is affecting communities right across the country, including this one small community in Ontario, Smiths Falls. And with me to discuss this and the big impact it's having in that community is Ron Harrison. He is the Manager of Programming and Community Relations at the Your TV studio there. Thank you so much for joining me today.
My pleasure, Melissa. Thanks for having me.
Well, Ron, let's paint a picture a little bit first. I mean, this is today is a big day for Smiths Falls, Ontario. Particularly with a massive corporation coming in. But paint a little picture of what Smiths Falls maybe was like beforehand and moving into what's going on today.
Yeah, it's a night and day difference from Hershey Chocolate left town here in 2008, I believe, was the year. And not a whole lot happened after that. People also forget, too, that the Rideau Regional Center, one of the largest employers in this community, also left town around that same time. So a lot of jobs were lost, and there really wasn't a lot of hope for many, many years until 5 years ago when Tweed announced they were purchasing the Hershey factory in Smiths Falls, and they were going to grow legal medicinal marijuana out of that facility.
Well, this is, I guess, a result of this is hundreds of jobs, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. I think the latest count, and I don't know if I should be calling it Tweed or Canopy Growth, but one and the same, I guess. It originated as Tweed Incorporated, and now it falls under the Canopy Growth banner, of course. But yeah, there's 800 people working at the factory here in Smiths Falls now, and that's up from 200 just a few years ago. So the workforce, I think the total workforce in this community is something like 3,600. So that gives you a pretty good idea of what Canopy Growth and Tweed Inc. have meant to the town of Smiths Falls.
Well, and just another a clarification as well. Just for those that don't know Smiths Falls, how big is this community? What's the population like?
Pretty stagnant, actually. It's been around 9,000 for a number of years now. But I think, when you look at what this has meant for this town, I think the biggest thing is the number of housing starts that have come up here in the last couple of years, really. And there's probably 200 new homes that have been built here just in the last year and a half, 2 years. And honestly, Melissa, they can't build them fast enough. They're built, I should say. They're occupied, they're sold. And there are plans right now for one of the local developers to construct, I think it's 350 single-family units, townhomes, condominiums, that kind of thing. I've been here 40 years, and I have never seen this kind of residential growth.
Wow. And, for someone then who has been there for 40 years and is seeing this drastic change, how do you feel about that?
Oh, it's great. I mean, well, as far as the town is concerned, just from a strict dollars and cents point of view, taxes here are extremely high. They have been for a number of years because there's basically has been no industrial tax base. So that burden has fallen on the residents. Development fees. Last year, I believe the town collected, I've got notes here. Yeah, 2 years ago, it was somewhere in the neighborhood of $10 million in development fees. Last year, that number was $30 million. This year, it looks like it'll be close to $200 million in development fees. That gives you a sense of what's happening in terms of growth in this community.
Wow. And I guess, it's funny because we have communities right across Canada, including some here in Parry Sound, Muskoka, who are a little concerned about, having legalized marijuana. But I guess in your case, in your community, it's a great thing for the economy for your community. Oh,
absolutely. And it's funny you say that because I think originally when this announcement was made, I guess it was 5 years ago, I think a lot of local people kind of rolled their eyes and thought, I'm not sure about this, and maybe weren't all that excited about it. I think that tune has changed completely now, and the fact that it is legal, I think, gives it some credibility in terms of the eyes of most people, and just what it's done for this town in terms of jobs, in terms of hope and optimism is incredible.
Okay, well, I want to thank you so much for taking the time and painting that picture of what it's like there today. How are people there right now anyway, residents? Are they happy about this, or how is it all?
I think for the most part, they're pretty thrilled with everything that's gone on so far. And you know, really, if you are in this area ever, take a drive by the old Hershey chocolate factory, because many people have been there over the years. It had millions of visitors, of course. They have completely transformed that property. They've added additions one after another. It's incredible what they have done, the amount of space that they're now using. And you know, the building in this town has just been unbelievable, both from that industrial end, but also from the residential standpoint as well.
Wow. Well, you know, we'll probably talk more on this as the growth continues and we hear more about this legalization as well, including next year when the retail program will roll out in the province. But I wanted to thank you again so much for taking the time to speak with us about this.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.